Welcome to the Globally Connected Podcast. We are in for a great episode. We're going to do something different today. I'm feeling good, so I want to relax and talk about hobbies. We want to talk about hobbies and how we have fun. First, we want to thank you all for tuning in and supporting us. We are currently at 60 subscribers. So thank you for helping us achieve our goals of 50 subscribers. So next, we are looking to get to 100. So keep us going. We appreciate the support and just thank you. So I'll provide the definition of a hobby. So the textbook definition of a hobby is an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. So that's the textbook general definition of a hobby. We'll provide our definition of a hobby and go from there. So for me, a hobby is doing anything that allows you to disconnect and just tap into the inner child of you. Just have fun, be free, and disconnect. Just smile and just have a good time. What about you, Gigi? What is your definition of a hobby?
Yeah, so I would define a hobby similarly. I think it's just something that you do to enjoy your time, to enjoy to enjoy life. Um, yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, this is the fun part where Gigi might get on me, guys. I tend to actually not have fun a lot, quote unquote. So I'm going to pass this on to her. How do you have fun? And maybe I could come up with something to answer the question. But let's start with you. How do you have fun, Gigi?
I would say I have fun by like seeing my friends, seeing my family, traveling. But when it comes to actually hobbies, I feel I also struggle with having hobbies.
Mm,
And I actually feel it's harder to develop hobbies when you're older. You have to be more intentional about developing hobbies when you're older and like putting yourself out there. Whereas I feel when you're younger or when you're a kid or when you're in college or something, it's easier to have hobbies. There's more group things going on that you can get involved with. Schools offer a lot of group activities, extracurriculars. But when you're an adult, you have to proactively seek these things out. So I feel I also, struggle with finding hobbies to stay consistent with that I enjoy doing. Um, but yeah, that's my perspective so far. How about you? What are some hobbies that you have and some things that you do for fun?
Well, coming into this year, I was actually having a phone conversation with a friend of mine towards the end of last year, and her and I was talking, and basically we both realized that we don't have any hobbies, and all we do is work. Well, my hobby, I play basketball a lot. I don't know if you want to consider that a hobby. I personally do though, but that was the only hobby that I could list that I consistently do. So going into this year, 2025, that was a thing of mine to actually pick one or two hobbies that was inexpensive or free and stick to it. So those hobbies were painting and I would say candle making.
Oh, candle making, nice.
I've actually done both of those this year, but I only done it once. So the honestly answer the question, my current hobbies is still basketball, is still painting, and I would say the last one is I can't say learning another language because that's still like something that takes your brain power. So I would just say those two for now. So I only got two, and that's sad, but I only got two.
No, that's good. And you can build them up too with time and see what you enjoy. I think it's also good to try out different things
Yeah,
and to see like what sticks and what fits, what you'd want to do as well.
yeah, I agree. That's the hard part, sticking to a hobby. I don't to be honest, I'm trying to understand why, and maybe you could speak to this as well, but why is it so hard? You actually brought up a good point, but as adults, why is it so hard for us to stick to having hobbies? Because do you struggle with the same thing, right? Having hobbies and being consistent with them?
Yeah, so me and my friend were talking while I was in Thailand.
Hmm.
She's in New York, and we were talking about hobbies and like how it actually is tougher to form hobbies when you're an adult because you are it's not like you're being pushed to in any way. You have to make the effort yourself to do it. And most of the times, as an adult, I would say a lot of hobbies are paid, but there's also some ones that are not paid too. So, for example, I want to take up rollerblading again because when I was a kid, that was a huge hobby of mine. Like, I loved to put on rollerblades, go and rollerblade, and it was great. So, I think like when I was in Thailand, I tried to dabble into a couple of different hobbies. So I
Hmm.
dabbled into Muay Thai. I did like dance class, but I did not go back. And I also did karaoke. So that was like a new hobby. And it was really fun. I feel like after you just feel so energized, you meet new people. So I think hobbies are actually very important for adults, especially young adults, because say you move to a new city or say you've just graduated and your friends have moved and life changes a bit, and developing hobbies helps you stay connected, meet new people, have things that you're doing that are also bringing you joy apart from just working. And the older you get, kind of the less people you have around you, close people.
Yep.
Like maybe you'll have your significant other and a couple of friends and your family, but it's much more limited and your time gets taken up by other things. So creating hobbies is a good way for you to also show yourself, self-love and appreciation and doing something fun for yourself, learning something new. And it's really exciting. It's like I know when I went to that dance class, I had so much fun. It was very exciting and it was like a workout at the same time. I think hobbies um are something that we have to actually put effort into doing. So that's probably why we're not so consistent, or at least like you and I are not consistent, but I'm sure many people out there have hobbies that they're consistent with. And that's great because it requires like putting in the effort to be consistent, whether that's signing up for something that you're going to do 3 times a week, whether it's you put on your calendar that you'll paint, or when you have some free time, you'll paint at the end of the day. So putting the intention out there to do these hobbies is very important.
That's pretty dope. You actually provided great perspective that I actually want to piggyback off of. But I'll start with, if you had to select three of the top hobbies that you would like in your life, what would those top hobbies be and why?
So I enjoy like taking walks in nature. I would say that's something that I would keep, like going to the park, being outside. I want to take on rollerblading just because I feel like it will just remind me of my childhood essence in a way.
Yeah.
And then for the other one, I don't know, I really love karaoke. It's so fun. If like it's just so fun to get a group of friends together and go and sing. So that would be my three. How about yourself?
Yeah, for me, by the way, I actually had a karaoke. Yeah, guys, she actually can sing. So
No, don't
that's
listen.
all. But for me, I would say playing soccer, like just going to the park and playing soccer. That's something I've been trying to pick up for the last 4 years, but I have not been consistent. But soccer, because it's something new that I'm learning, which is a universal sport. You get to connect with people from all over the world globally. And over sports, everybody builds community, get to know one another and talk about life outside of the sport, but also talk about the sport. And that transitioned into you guys hanging out over food, coming to each other's house, just building and establishing community.
Yeah,
So soccer is one. I would definitely say painting. Because every time I do it, like I remember when I did it this year, I just felt so at peace. And I
right,
don't know if it's because I'm an artist, but it just felt so therapeutic and soothing for my mind. Like when I was painting, I just felt so removed from the world, and like I was on my own cloud, just sitting, just being free, just scribble scrabbling. It just felt so soothing.
right.
And then the last one I would say is, hmm, I'm gonna throw you off here. Cooking, a cooking class
Nice.
consistently. Fun fact about me, I actually love to cook. That's another thing that I do that brings me joy and peace, and it's very therapeutic. So in a nutshell, I want to be consistent and take on hobbies that brings me peace and just allow me to disconnect because with the lifestyle that I have and live, I'm always on the go, 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 go. But at the same time, I value peace and just being at ease in my life, on a day-to-day basis. So those would be my top hobbies, and those are the reasons why I picked.
So what actually it's a great time for you to start soccer with it getting warmer outside too. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, what would you advise the audience to do to help them find hobbies? Like how would you advise the audience to go about implementing hobbies in their life?
Okay, first I'll start with finding the hobbies that you want to take up. Find something that connects with who you are and where you're trying to go as just a human being. Let's put all the work and all the professional stuff aside, but who you are in inner. Let's connect with there. So I would say find something there and just start right there. And then what was the other part that you asked?
Yeah, how would you recommend them to go about finding this hobby?
So it depends on location. Location is everything. So let's say you're in a major city such as in Atlanta, New York, or LA, etc. Let's think about it. Things to do related to any hobby is very prominent and that very accessible. So I would just say just put yourself out there. And if you don't have that one friend or the group of friends to actually do that with, just start by doing something online. But also don't be afraid to just go to something that's free and just put yourself out there. I think a lot of times this is not the case for me personally, but I think a lot of times when we are adults, the reason why we probably don't take up hobbies and be consistent with it is because we are afraid to actually put ourselves out there and to step into unfamiliar territories. I don't know why that is though. What
Yeah.
I don't, do you think are we? Because nobody being judged, but why do you think that is? That's actually pretty interesting.
I feel like as we grow older, we grow more comfortable in the comfort zone, less risk adversive,
Uh-huh.
less taking risks, and more into comfort. So building routine becomes super more important as people get older.
Mm-hmm.
So they have their set routines, set things that they need to do, and that's that. And then doing something out there and exciting sometimes is not top priority. And I think as people get older, they have more responsibilities and things to attend to. So they are not going to go out there as much to do new things because they're keeping up with the existing things. But personally, I believe it's very important to maintain your inner child. Um,
Yeah.
as you get older, as you're young, anything like it's keep your soul alive. So I would say like how I would advise is to start with one thing. Like don't make it too complicated for yourself, but start with one thing that you want to try.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even like sometimes free classes for like an intro class to different things. So try something till you find something that sticks with you and you feel like you want to go back and then go back. Um, if you want to do something that is also like hobbies can be expensive in the US, I think, but there's also a lot of hobbies that are super affordable and even free. Like there's different clubs that you can join, whether that's a book club or running club. You could even join a business club, meet other entrepreneurs as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, going to the library as a hobby, and they have events that they host. So there's a lot of public resources out there that we can leverage as well to do hobbies. There's like free kickboxing classes. Um, you can start a pottery class. So look around, check out Eventbrite. I would say Eventbrite has a lot of really cool things that happen around your area so you can see what's nice. Um, personally, I feel I tend to develop more hobbies when I'm outside of the country. And I think for me, that's because I just feel more excited to do things, more like it's a new environment. But when you are in a familiar environment, it can feel like you're just in a day to day routine. So build some unfamiliarity in your existing environment as well. That would be the tips that I would throw out there. For me, I feel like I follow the hobbies that I've been like inclined toward.
Mm-hmm.
But then, of course, when you're abroad somewhere, like Muay Thai was everywhere in Thailand, for example. So it was very easy to take on Muay Thai there. Like, there's plenty of places you can go. It's affordable. You meet people. It's a very community based thing out there. So
Mhm.
location can, affect the hobbies that exist in the area, and that can actually be very interesting because you can find some hobbies that are very unique to the place that you're in and
Mhm.
even learn something from a new culture. Like, you could learn a new form of basket weaving, for example. If you're somewhere, you could learn a new form of knitting. Like, there's many things that you can do. So I do think as you travel to try hobbies, even on a vacation, I think it'll be fun. Like, people scuba dive sometimes or snorkel when they go abroad somewhere near a beach. But
Yeah.
if you live close to the beach all the time, then that can be a hobby that you take up a lot. Like, I tried surfing for the first time in Bali, and
Mhm.
obviously I probably would not go surfing in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Surf on Lake Lanier, like, I wouldn't surf here, but there that was such a big part of the culture. So I was like, okay, let me try this out.
How was that experience surfing?
It was very hard.
Really?
Yeah, it was really hard. And my neck hurt after because I think I was just not doing it right. But
No.
it was cool. It was a fun experience.
How did you feel after you did it? Like, did you feel? Yeah. How did you feel? Like you felt like a little kid again?
I felt like I'm out of shape. I felt out of
Really?
breath. I was like, oh my gosh, like that was so intense. I never thought surfing would be so intense. So, like, I thought it was kind of just a chill sport. Like,
Uh-huh.
you just get on and you just get on and woo. But no, it was really exhausting for some reason. So afterwards, I was just like catching my breath for a bit.
That's pretty cool. I don't know. I would be open to experiencing surfing. To be honest,
Yeah.
do you think hobbies should change, and if so, how often? Do you think our hobbies should stay consistent, or we should change our hobbies? And if so, how often should we change them?
That's a good question. I think it's dependent on the person. So
Hmm.
if you find a hobby that you really enjoy and you've built a community around it and you enjoy doing it, like, for sure stick to it. If you feel like, man, I want to try something new, then I think it's totally good to switch things up until you find something that you like, or even just continuously switch it up. Because at the end of the day, it's a hobby. It's for you to enjoy. It's not a competition. It's not about being the best. It's not about, succeeding in it. It's literally about doing something that you feel like is helping you unwind and relax and also enjoy your time. So if you want to switch it up, do it. I would say with hobbies, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Make it something you enjoy, but also you can set milestones and goals for yourself while you're trying new hobbies.
Hmm.
What
That's-
about yourself? What are your thoughts and perspectives on whether you change or keep a hobby?
I think you actually should add more hobbies into your life, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell you why. Because I think with hobbies, it keeps the adventurous part of you alive and vibrant.
Mm.
Also, I think it keeps that fun aspect within your brain wheels turning, you know? So I think it's good to keep guys, huh?
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. I don't know how often, but yeah, I don't know. Let's not even put a timeline on that because I think that's a problem. But yeah, I think hobbies should change. And obviously hobbies are important because I just think it keeps you living. And I think it, as I say, I think it allows you to tap into that inner child, whatever that is, whether that's going to a candy store eating candy, that's your hobby. But it keeps no, I'm just being honest, because that's some people's hobbies. People love sweets, quote unquote. People love sweets, right? So
At me, just at me.
yeah, so I think that's actually good. And then next point, we are both entrepreneurs. Um, in our field of the work, and for fellow entrepreneurs out there, employers, students, whatever it is that you may do, but let's just start with entrepreneurs. For us, why do you think it's important to have hobbies or a hobby? Why do you think it's important?
I think it's important to have hobbies because of time management. I think sometimes, um, at least for me, like, my schedule's a bit everywhere all the time. I don't have a set working hours. So I need to implement hobbies into my life so that I have set times where I go and do these things and like kind of block it off in my day that hey, I'm going to do this, or in my week block off that between 6 to 8 I'll be doing this hobby and then I'll be back or something. So I think it's important to keep your mind fresh and creative too,
Yeah.
so you avoid burnout as well, and for your mental health, and to just um, feel like you're alive, literally.
Yeah, I would concur with that actually. I think hobbies are important no matter what field of work you do. But
Yeah,
for entrepreneurs, it's very important because we are always on the go. Like our schedule never stops. You can have a meeting at 2 a.m. in the morning, you can have a meeting at 8 a.m. in the morning, 7 p.m. at night. So your brain actually sometimes never turns off. Like when you're sleeping, you actually still up because you're thinking about focusing on something within the business. So I think hobbies are important for everyone because you mentioned something very important, that mental health. Like mental health is very important. And if you never have that outlet to get away and escape from your field of work, then you will experience the burnout. You won't be able to produce the best work. You won't be able to close that deal. You won't be as sharp mentally, physically, socially, and emotionally. So I think hobbies are very important. And also, I came up with an idea that I think would actually help everybody out there, but I think it would help us having an accountability partner with hobbies. We have accountability partners for everything else, but for some reason, maybe that is a thing, but I don't know of that or heard people talk about it. I think having an accountability partner for hobbies is actually good and it'll help you be consistent with your hobbies. So,
yeah.
be my accountability partner for hobbies.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. I think it's a good way to one, remind a person about a hobby that they really enjoyed if they went and did it again and how it went, and have them open up about it too, so that they're more motivated to go back as well. And accountability, we are social creatures at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, taking accountability by talking to another person about something that you did and telling them what you learned from it is really great.
By the way, guys, leave some of your favorite hobbies or suggestions on how you could be consistent with hobbies, stick to it, etc. Please leave them in the comments. But any lasting thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. And, we hope this has inspired you to take on a new hobby. I know this isn't as conventional as our typical episodes, but we did want to introduce also kind of that balance within business, but also your personal life and your mental health, etc. So, we hope that this has inspired you to take on some hobbies that you can enjoy, and it will actually help you, I believe, in your work life as well, and help your mood, because everything is intercorrelated. If you don't feel good, you're not going to produce good work, you're not going to be as present. So take some time for yourself, go enjoy something new, or do something you already love to do.
Thank you guys for joining us on the Globally Connected podcast. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.